I have been playing Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Now, this
Ubisoft
is
game.
a Ubisoft game. We got a code from our Ubisoft PR folks, and to set up this game and my thoughts on this game, I love the movies. My son loves the movies. We're big fans of this franchise. Really enjoy it. Very much looking forward to playing in this world. And my biggest hesitation going into it was the fact that it is a first-person game. Now, this is not going to be an issue for a lot of people. Antonio is a big first-person.
But you hate those.
I, for the most part, do not like playing in first person at all. If I get an option, like in a Skyrim or whatever, like I will immediately give me third person all day long. And I think they shoehorned themselves into first person. They set this narrative that we are doing it so that you feel like you are completely surrounded in Pandora. You feel immersed, like you are one with the world. And that's a choice. Like that's a design choice, but it's a very perplexing one, especially when the game repeatedly takes you out of that immersive experience. And I'll give you an example. The game is rife with cutscenes, and all the cutscenes are presented in first-person perspective, just like you are. It's just like another beat to you playing the game. However, every time one of these cutscenes happens, it fades to black from you playing it, and then fades in to the cutscene, which again is from a first-person perspective. So it's just creating this huge visual cue that you're not having a seamless experience, right? Like if they wanted to have that cutscene in-game engine, you just walk right up to it and it happens, okay. But every time you have a narrative cutscene, you'll walk, let's say, you'll walk into this big facility, you'll see the character you're going to talk to, you walk up to them, fade to black, fade back in, right exactly where you are, and cutscene that you have no control over. So it's just jarring. It's just a weird presentation choice that you can't help but feel like it's fighting against itself, right? Like they want to have this experience where you're in it and it's seamless. You are this character. Forget you're playing a game. Fade to black. it's just weird, and I can't get over it. And I fire this game up, and it does that bizarre thing that a lot of these first-person games do, like Destiny and all that stuff. And it's like, we want you to spend a good 10 minutes designing your character. You can change their eye shape, the texture of the patterns on their skin, the hair, how tall they are, their like everything. And then you never see it unless you go into photo mode or you ride a mount, which the coolest part of this game is flying a Banshee. You get your own Banshee, and then it pulls out to third-person perspective. Why is that part third person? The coolest thing you can do in the game goes into third-person view mode, right? And it's strange, it's bonkers, it's disjointed.
Yeah.
But I love this game. I really like it. I've got the negative stuff out of the way here, and now I want to talk about what this game does well, because it does a lot really well. It utilizes the property very well, and it leans into that fucking generic Ubisoft template of you got your outposts with the bad guys and stuff, but it works so well with this property because you're in Pandora, you're a freedom fighter trying to fight against the humans who have come and terraformed your planet, And like the outposts are these big facilities and industrial plants. And as you approach them, the air becomes thick with pollution and there's debris and garbage everywhere. And you fight these guys that are in like their mech suits from the movies and stuff. And there's the big flying helicopter machines and all that stuff. All the stuff from the movies in there, and it feels so good. You can either use your bow and arrow, which feels incredibly powerful because you tower over the humans, because the avatars are like fucking 9 feet tall, right? And you feel that weight as you were playing the game, and you shoot an arrow into this puny little human, and you watch him fucking fly back 10 feet. Like, you feel really strong. And then as the game goes on, you equip more human weapons. Like, you get machine guns and rocket launchers and grenades and stuff like that. And that all feels really good. And then you destroy these outposts and nature starts to reclaim the land. And that's how you regain your territory. Like, the land starts to heal, the clouds go away, the sky clears up, all this stuff. And that just works really, like, that formula works really well with this IP. So like the whole time you feel like you're not just clearing out the bad guys, but you're actually healing Pandora, which is really what these Avatar movies are all about. It's like the balance with nature and you know, trying to be good stewards of your land and all that stuff. And I think that works really well in this game. The cutscenes are pre-baked, but they're really cool. Like, you meet really interesting characters, and you go up to the cliffs, and I don't know if you guys are fans of the movies at all, but you got to go and you got to get your own Banshee. You got to climb the floating islands to get to the nest, and then you have to wrestle with it and sync up with it. It's got all that stuff. The skill tree is all about using your little weird tentacle ponytail thing and connecting with Awa, and then there's this whole skill tree based on the planet healing you and all this stuff, and it just works really well. It is so much fun. It's a good use of a movie property. Like, we all lived through the really bad movie tie-in games, and this is not one of that. The only thing that I can really strike against this game is just that first person perspective. But when you play it, it's so much fun. Not your avatar, because you're not the character from the movie. You are a Na'vi. You are a native Na'vi. The story of the game is that you were abducted as a child by the humans, and you were raised to be kind of like a negotiating tool between the humans and the natives on the planet. And then you escape from the humans at the outset of it, and you are discovering Pandora for the first time because you didn't grow up there, and you are trying to find your heritage and your clan and discover your true roots as a Na'vi of Pandora. So it's got a really interesting storyline, and it works really well, and it's fun to play. It's just got these frustrating choices as far as how they make you play it. Other things that I really want to touch on is it's got a kind of a complicated control system, lots of weapons. You have to eat to keep your stamina up, not just your health, but like your stamina. So there's a cooking element in it, which means there's a lot of different button assignments. There's a lot of hold L1 and triangle, or hold, there's a lot of intricate shit that is easy to forget in the midst of a moment. If you're in a big firefight and you run out of stamina, you have to do a button combination to pull out a fruit and eat it to get your stamina up. So that can be kind of confusing. The thing that is the very best part of this game is that when you get your Banshee, you get to name it. And you get to name it much like the way you do in Ghost of Tsushima. It gives you some preset names that you can choose from. There's like a list of 12 because they're baked into the voice acting, right? You want your character to actually call your animal. So it's just like Ghost of Tsushima. And you've got all these really cool names like Storm Rider and Thunder and Mist and things like Shadow, things like that. But then, for some fucking reason, the last option is Carol. Carol. Carol.
Okay.
And
All
so
right.
as we got our Banshee and we were looking at our name choices, Elliot and I looked at each other and we said, holy shit, we can name this giant dragon that we mind connect with Carol. And throughout the rest of the game, when you call for your Banshee, when you're fighting on a giant airship that's exploding because you fought all these mechs and soldiers and you're blowing shit up and you're restoring the world and you jump and you're falling and you call out, Carol!
I think I'll call you Carol.
And Carol comes in and saves the day.
That's awesome.
And I don't understand it. It makes no sense. It has no right to be there, but goddamn do I love the fact that they let me name my dragon Carol. And so, Avatar, Game of the Year.
Nice.
It's really good. Honestly, I like this more than I liked the Assassin's Creed game that I played a couple months back. Like it's really good. It's not my preferred way to play. I don't like doing stuff in first person. It's unintuitive to me. Like they have you climbing mountains and doing platforming and stuff, and that never feels good to me in first person. But like it works. People like playing those games that way. So like, Antonio, I think you would really like this game, honestly. Are you a fan of this franchise?
So I don't know why the Avatar thing feels gross to me. I just don't know why. I like have an aversion to it, but it is undeniable how amazing it is visually. Like
it is a weird mythos, right? Like there's a lot of strange stuff in it. Yeah,
I think the Ferngully like retold thing kind of bothered me. Like it's basically the same thing, you know, like the nature thing and fighting corporations. But I went on the Avatar ride in Pandora in the Animal Kingdom in Disney, and it was like one of those experiences where you're in the huge seat and it's sights and smells and heat and cold, and it has you like going through the movie. And it was like, as soon as I was in that ride, I was like, damn, I forgot that this shit was cool. That Avatar is a cool IP. Because when you get out of there, then they have all this merch. And people were buying the shit out of that merch. They were like, they will scan your face and make an avatar of you, like the version of the doll of you. And all this stuff. And I wanted to buy shit. And I was like, let's go. And like, if you get the right experience, this franchise has legs. Like I think it could really do what it's trying to do, and apparently it's already captivated people, you know, based on the movies and all of that. It's just a shame, I think, the time that it's taking to build this, right? And like, great, we have a video game. When did Avatar 1 come out? Like, this is wild that this is happening. And then, you know, they're working on parts, whatever, 4, 5, whatever the hell is going on. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the movie tie-in thing that's keeping me from hitting the purchase button on this, because I even have game credit ready to go, and I'm like, should I play this? For whatever reason, it feels like it has interest cards stacked against it. But every recommendation's good. Everyone's like, good game. I feel like it's an Assassin's Creed Mirage thing though, where it's like, yeah, pretty good. You know, like not like amazing, mind blowing. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, me personally, if this game was a third person perspective, I'd have very little negative to say about it. That's my big hang up. And if it is going to be in first person, if they really want to do that whole I'm in the world thing, this shit should be in VR. Full stop.
This shit should have a demo.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. Like the world.
I hear it won top graphics of the year by Digital Foundry, and they know what they're talking about.
It's incredible. But again, it is Pandora. It is Avatar. So there's like weird stuff. Like there's creatures that just look. If you don't vibe with that aesthetic, it's a lot of blue and green, right? Like it's a lot of weird plants and shit like that. But it's cool. Like it's got a day-night cycle, so when everything gets dark, everything starts to glow like it does in the movie. It's really cool, and I get the idea that they want you to feel like you're there, because it is a world that, like you said, it's a visual experience. I watch these movies in 3D. I think that's the best way to watch them. Being in that world feels so cool. I just don't know if that was worth for me, that wasn't really worth the gamble on that perspective. I think if this was like a Horizon kind of third person thing, I'd be enjoying it more. But as it stands, it's a really good game. I enjoyed it a lot.
How is that Way of Water movie?
It's really good.
Didn't catch it yet. It's good.
It's super
Okay.
good.
Good.
Disney Plus, watch it.